10 psychological facts that will change the way you think about yourself. Let's get smarter. Have you ever wondered why you can't resist looking at someone's face when they walk into a room? Or why it's so hard to take responsibility for our own mistakes, and instead we tend to blame others? These are just a few of the many interesting quirks of the human mind that continue to fascinate researchers and experts in the field of psychology. Let's dive into some of the most surprising psychology facts that will challenge your perception of the world around you. 1. Delayed gratification, a skill that starts young. Do you have trouble delaying gratification and opting for long-term rewards instead of immediate ones? You may be surprised to learn that this tendency starts at an early age. Research shows that children who can delay gratification tend to do better in life, have better self-control, and higher academic achievement. So, the next time you find yourself struggling to resist temptation, remember that your ability to delay gratification is a skill that you can develop. 2. More choices, more confusion. Do you love having multiple options to choose from? Well, you're not alone. However, studies show that having too many choices can lead to decision paralysis, causing us to feel overwhelmed and unhappy with our choices. So the next time you're facing a barrage of options, ask yourself, do you really need all those choices? 3. The addictive power of faces. Have you ever found yourself inexplicably drawn to faces? Humans are hardwired to recognize and process facial expressions as they convey a wealth of information about a person's emotions and intentions. That's why you're more likely to find images with faces more appealing than those without. Faces are, in a way, our drug of choice. 4. The blame game. When something goes wrong, do you tend to blame others instead of taking responsibility? It turns out that this tendency is hardwired into our brains. Research shows that people are more likely to blame others than the situation they find themselves in. So, the next time you find yourself pointing fingers, remember that taking responsibility is the first step towards change. 5. The reading paradox. Reading is an essential part of our daily lives, and it's easy to take it for granted. However, have you ever stopped to consider how the physical layout of text affects the way we read? Believe it or not, the length and width of text can have a significant impact on our reading experience. Specifically, when it comes to reading on a screen, we have a paradoxical preference for longer lines of text, but visually prefer shorter lines. This can be explained by the fact that our eyes prefer narrower columns, but longer lines allow us to read faster without moving our eyes as much. This interesting phenomenon has fascinated researchers in the field of typography and psychology for years. 6. The power of synchronous activity. Want to bond with your friends? Do things together. Research shows that people who engage in synchronous activities, such as dancing or singing, feel more connected to each other and are more likely to make sacrifices for their group. So if you're looking to strengthen your bonds with your friends or family, try doing activities together. 7. Mind wandering. More common than you think. Do you find your mind wandering at times? You're not alone. In fact, research shows that our minds wander around 30% of the time, and sometimes as high as 70%. While mind wandering may seem like a distraction, it can actually promote creativity and help you retain important information while doing something else. 8. Red and blue, a bad combo for the eyes. Have you ever noticed how some colors seem to work better together than others? One color combination that can be particularly challenging for our eyes is red and blue. While this pairing can create visually interesting effects, such as a sense of depth or movement, it can also be hard on our eyes over time. One of the main reasons why red and blue can be tough to look at for extended periods is their contrast. Red is a warm, vibrant color that appears to be closer to the viewer, while blue is a cooler, more distant color that recedes into the background. When these two colors are placed side by side or overlaid, the contrast can create a jarring effect that our eyes have to work harder to process. As a result, staring at red and blue for too long can lead to a range of symptoms, such as eye fatigue, headaches, and even dizziness. This is particularly true when the colors are used in high contrast patterns like stripes or checkerboards. 9. The comfort of the familiar. As humans, we are wired to seek safety and security when we're feeling vulnerable or threatened. This is especially true when it comes to our consumer behavior. When we're feeling down or scared, we tend to seek comfort in the familiar. Research shows that when we're in a vulnerable state, we're more likely to choose brands or products that we're familiar with rather than trying something new. One reason for this is that familiarity provides a sense of security and stability during times of uncertainty. When we're feeling stressed or anxious, we crave the comfort of the known rather than the uncertainty of the unknown. Familiarity also provides a sense of control over our environment, which can be comforting during times when we feel like things are out of our control. Positive emotions and memories of a product or brand make us more likely to choose that product or brand in future, even when we're feeling vulnerable or uncertain. 10. The limits of social connections. Do you have hundreds or even thousands of social media friends? While it's great to have many acquaintances, research shows that our brains can only handle a limited number of close relationships, between 50 and 150. So, if you want to cultivate deeper connections, focus on quality over quantity. In conclusion, these psychology facts show that the human mind is a complex and fascinating subject that continues to surprise us. From our tendency to seek comfort in the familiar to our addiction to faces, these facts challenge our assumptions and perceptions about ourselves and the world around us. So, the next time you find yourself struggling with delayed gratification or overwhelmed by choices, remember that it's not just you, it's how our minds are wired. As a thank you for watching this video thus far, we have a bonus for you. 11. Multitasking. A myth. Are you a multitasking pro? Many of us take pride in our ability to multitask, believing that it allows us to be more productive and efficient. We often find ourselves switching between different tasks, such as checking emails, answering phone calls, and working on a project simultaneously. However, the truth is that multitasking is more of a myth than a reality. Research has shown that the human brain is not capable of truly multitasking, and attempting to do so can actually have negative effects on our productivity and overall well-being. When we think we are multitasking, what we are actually doing is rapidly switching our attention between different tasks. This constant switching can be mentally exhausting and can cause us to make more mistakes, resulting in decreased productivity. Additionally, trying to focus on multiple tasks at once can lead to increased stress levels and decreased overall satisfaction with the work we produce. So, the next time you find yourself attempting to multitask, it may be worth considering whether it's really the best approach. Instead of trying to do multiple things at once, try to focus on one task at a time. This will allow you to give your full attention to each task, resulting in higher quality work and increased productivity. If you are curious about more psychology facts, please watch the next video that we've handpicked for you.